Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen and today's video is very serious because it is tips that can save your life. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's start immediately. Number one, stay calm, okay? In a crisis situation, panic can cloud your judgment, okay? So staying calm allows you to think more clearly and make better decisions. Now, this does come with practice, and obviously, when you're in a crisis, it's a very upsetting situation. It can be extremely stressful, it can be very traumatic, but once you learn to stay calm under pressure and to think clearly, you are going to be much, much more useful in crisis situations, and it can potentially save your life, okay? Stop. Think, okay? Take a breath, all right? Yes, it's extremely stressful and crisis situations can often come with a lot of emotional trauma, but if you can learn for a minute to look past it, then you can often improve the outcome vastly. And just knowing that if I stay calm in this moment, everything's going to be all right, that in itself can really help you stay calm, okay? Because it's very reassuring. Number two, know basic first aid. Okay, so basic knowledge of first aid can be absolutely crucial in emergencies. Learning CPR and the Heimlich maneuver. So my dad knows the Heimlich maneuver and he has used it to save someone's life before. And also how to control bleeding. If you know how to stop someone bleeding out, that's really, really important. That's something I've had to know. Also have a basic first aid kit and survival kit in your home. Okay, so learn how to stop someone choking, stop someone bleeding. These are really, really, really important skills that you need to know and that you will probably have to use at some point in your life. And you could literally save someone's life by knowing basic first aid. Like, you could stop them bleeding, you could stop them choking, you could stop them getting an infection. All of those are really important and really basic skills that you need to know. Right, number three, emergency contacts, okay? Keep a list of emergency contacts in your phone and a physical copy in your wallet and bag. Now, this is more to do with your own personal safety, but if anything ever happens to you and a random, stranger finds you on the side of the road, you're knocked out and you've got a broken leg or something, they need to be able to know who to call, okay? Obviously, apart from an ambulance, but keep a list of emergency contacts and it can really serve you well. Also, learn self-defense. Unfortunately, not everyone in this world is a good person, and knowing basic self-defense techniques can really provide you with valuable skills in dangerous situations. So obviously, the legality of various self-defense techniques and methods will vary by country, so obviously look up what the regulations are in your region, but carrying some kind of self-defense knowledge or item, if that's allowed, can really help you. And sometimes, the most effective self-defense technique is the next point, which I'm going to talk about, and that is situational awareness, okay? So be aware of your surroundings. Knowing what's happening around you can help you avoid potential dangers. So this is otherwise known as common sense or street smarts, but don't go out alone at night in a dangerous area, okay? Always tell someone where you're going. If you're going to meet someone, tell your friends who you're going to meet and where you're going to meet them, send a picture, okay? So stay connected and be aware of your situations. Don't zone out in situations where you should not be zoned out, and know which situations you need to be aware in, okay? So I'll give you an example. I was traveling and I was walking back to my hostel at 1 or 2 in the morning. Now, I was in a good mood, but if I'd put my headphones in to listen to some music, I would not have been aware of my surroundings. So what I was doing until I got back to the hostel was I was checking my surroundings, I was sticking to well-lit areas, okay? And I was sticking to areas with lots of people, all right? And yeah, it was 1 or 2 in the morning, but people were at clubs and stuff. Okay, so I was trying to stick to the safest areas, and I got back to my hostel and I was fine. Okay, so situational awareness is really important. Also, trust your instincts. Now, your gut knows when something is wrong. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Now, there have been a load of times when I have I've been in a situation and I'm this doesn't feel right, and I've got out of the situation, and I don't know if anything's gone wrong after that, but I'm glad that I got out because I trust my gut, okay? So trust your gut feelings, take appropriate action, whether that be leaving or calling a friend, okay? So trust your instincts. Also, know basic survival skills. Now, this kind of goes back to knowing basic first aid, but this is kind of basic first aid, but for yourself. So learn how to start a fire, find or purify water, and build a makeshift shelter. So understand your basic needs in a survival situation. You need warmth, you need shelter, you need water. Obviously, you need air, but I'm going to assume you have that. So yes, you need to know basic survival skills and how to provide for yourself. For example, consider if the power goes out or your water goes off, okay? What are you going to do in that situation? And on that point, stay hydrated. So dehydration can really impair your cognitive function, and if your cognitive function is impaired, then you're not going to be very good at taking care of yourself because your brain's not working properly. So always try and make sure you have access to clean water, especially in extreme weather conditions. Like, for example, if you're going on a hike and it's super sunny or it's the summer and you don't take water, what are you doing? Because you're going to end up like passing out of dehydration on the trail like 3 miles from anywhere. Who's going to come and get you, okay? So stay hydrated. Also, road safety. I did want to talk about road safety in this video because a lot of people get injured or die in accidents on the roads, and just wearing your seatbelt, following traffic rules, and stop being distracted while you're driving. Don't drive when you're drunk. Can't believe I have to say this, but don't drive when you're drunk or on any other substances. It is just not worth it, okay? Basic road safety, again, this comes back to situational awareness and it comes back to not being an idiot, but please take care of yourself on the road because road accidents are one of the most common ways to get injured or to die in sort of a public setting, so yeah, please be safe on the road. Also, fire safety. Another big threat is fire. Now, know how to use a fire extinguisher and have a fire escape plan for your home. This is like basic preparedness that you can have, but it does make a difference. So we have a fire extinguisher. I've never actually used a fire extinguisher because I don't need to. I haven't needed to, but I do know how to use one if the situation arises because I took 5 minutes to educate myself on that. Also, stay informed. Knowledge is power, okay? So be aware of weather forecasts, especially in like extreme conditions, hurricanes, tornadoes, snowstorms. Just be sensible, okay? Even in very normal situations, like being aware of the tide times, like you go on holiday and you're on a beach and you don't know the tide times, tide comes in and you're trapped. Like, that's not great, okay? Especially if you're somewhere remote that doesn't have good phone reception, what are you gonna do, okay? But even some basic awareness of, oh, it's this time, I set a reminder, now I've gotta leave because the tide's gonna come in an hour, okay? So I gotta leave now. Okay, on that point, learn to swim. So knowing how to swim can be a really life-saving skill, especially in situations where you, like, this could be anything, like you could literally be at the beach and you get swept out. That's very common, and or you could like fall in a river, or you're in a swimming pool. Like, I don't know why you'd get in a swimming pool if you didn't know how to swim, but the point is knowing how to swim can be really valuable and save your life in a lot of situations. And also, on that point, not just knowing how to swim, but knowing how to float, okay? So sometimes knowing how to float and tread water can be much more valuable than learning how to swim because you're keeping yourself alive until you get picked up or rescued. Also, if you can, use technology. Now, we have access to more communication methods than ever, so use it to keep yourself safe. Keep your phone charged, and if you have a phone with a slightly unreliable battery, like mine, then you should have a battery pack, okay? Now, I can charge my phone 4 times from a battery pack. I can survive for like a week, probably, without any access to electricity, just charging my phone off my battery pack. Okay, also you should enable location services, share your location so your friends know where you're going, and have emergency apps that can provide assistance or share your location. For example, What 3 Words is a good one. Basically it assigns, I think it works without mobile data, and it assigns 3 words to every like square meter, I think, of land in the entire world, and it has been used by the emergency services to rescue people from some extremely bad situations. So if you can, I'll leave a link in the description box. This is a really cool app. Also, have a communication plan, okay? So establish a communication plan with family and friends in case of emergencies, and know when to meet and where to meet if you're separated. Now, this can be something as simple as, if I'm not back by midnight, call me. Or if I'm not at X point by X time, then you need to worry, and these are the things you need to do. And it could be, you know, if we go to the fair together and someone gets lost, like the kid gets lost, go to the Helter Skelter, okay? So like, it couldn't necessarily, like, it's gonna stop you from getting lost, and having a communication plan, you know, better safe than sorry, right? I have 2 more tips for you, so stay tuned. Understand basic navigation, okay? So if you're in unfamiliar places, have a basic understanding of how to navigate using landmarks or a map. If you can't read a map, seriously, it's the 21st century. Learn how to read a map, okay? Because if you're in a location where you can't use, like, your phone maps for some reason, you need to learn how to read a map and get from point A to point B, or you're gonna be lost, and nobody wants to be lost, especially in an unfamiliar place, right? And finally, take care of your mental health, okay? This is a tip that I wish I had known earlier, but taking care of my mental health, on a personal note, saved my life, okay? So seek help if you're struggling emotionally. A crisis situation doesn't have to be something that involves other people. It doesn't have to be a fire or a road accident or falling into a river. It can be the crisis that's going on in your own mind, okay? So mental well-being is just as important as physical health, and sometimes people don't realise that they are experiencing a crisis situation because it is literally in their head, okay? And they think it's normal, but it's not normal. So if you're feeling like down or just sad or depressed or anxious or like you don't want to be here anymore, okay, please seek some kind of mental help. Like, go to therapy, go talk to your doctor, okay? Because that in itself is a crisis situation, and knowing like basic mental health self-care techniques can save your life. Alright, those are all the tips I have for you to save your life. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Be safe. Bye!